Happy International Girlfriends Day. Let me tell you guys a story about how a year ago today, I found out I was not a girlfriend, but a side piece. So let me set the scene. I'm sitting on the couch, minding my own business. All my friends are texting me saying like, oh my God, he finally posted you. Like, he made it official. I'm confused because I'm like, what are you guys talking about? If he made it official, you guys are the first to know because I don't even know about that. So I was like, send me what you're talking about. They sent me his story. I can't view it because he has me hidden from it. So we already know something's up. Besides that, all my friends start screenshotting it, and it's this picture of a girl with, at the time, my hair was literally like a light brown, almost auburn, like ginger. I don't know, like it was, nobody else that I knew had my hair color, okay? Except this girl. She's like laying on his lap at the beach, and in my mind, the picture looked so much like me. I was like, wait, is that me? Like, I literally kept thinking it was me, but no. He did it on purpose so that everybody around us at school would think it was me, but all his peeps at home that knew about his real girlfriend thought it was her. Master manipulator. And yeah, she was also in high school at the time, and like I was in college, and I felt so bad for this girl because like, girl, you did not deserve him. Neither of us deserved him, but I think they're still together, so like, pop off.
Here's a story time on how my ex paid a guy to remove me off Snapchat. So at this point, me and my ex had like broken up for around a month or maybe a little bit longer. But mind you, I was like mentally clocked out so long before, and he knew that. And this was around like exam season. I had already finished my exams, and so did my friend, and we decided we wanted to go to Mexico. So we book Mexico, and then we go because I'm like, I need to clear my head. Like, we're just going for girls' night. Like, it's gonna be fun, and it ends up being like a great time. I'm so happy I went with her. I literally love this girl. But while I'm in Mexico, I'm like talking to this guy from back home. He also played hockey, so that's how my ex knew him. But we were literally just texting on Snap. It was like nothing crazy, but seeing the time where like we broke up and it's like I had been mentally clocked out, having a conversation with someone else is completely normal, and that's what I was doing. But at this point, I was still snapping my ex because he asked for us to still be friends, so I was like, whatever, like, I'll still have you on social media. And he had Snapchat Plus, so he would stalk my fucking, like, how much my snap score would go up, and he'd be like, oh, you're not snapping me, you have to be snapping him. And then he'd text me being, like, mad that I wasn't, like, texting him. I was like, we're broken up. I was like, what's wrong with you? But he was literally being so psychotic and, like, so controlling while I was in Mexico, like, trying to enjoy myself under the sun. He would be mad that I wasn't snapping him, even though we weren't together and I was just trying to tan. I don't know, make that make sense? But, like, he knew that me and this one guy were talking, and prior to the trip, he had, like, sent paragraphs complaining about me to this boy, which is so weird. Like, he would call me crazy and psychotic, and then the guy would, like, show me the things. Like, he would, like, screenshot it or something and then send it to me, and I'd be like, I'm sorry you're being involved in this. Like, this has literally nothing to do with you. I don't know why he's texting you. But anyways, me and this guy were just talking, and then I go to bed, and the next day I go on Snap, and I'm literally removed. And I was like, oh, I see like an X right next to his name, and I'm like, I don't remember that being there yesterday. But anyways, I am just whatever, like, I'm not gonna let that bother me. But my ex starts like texting me about him, and I'm like, oh yeah, he like removed me. And then he already knew somehow, and I was like, okay, whatever. I just tried to like ignore it. I didn't think it was like that big of a deal. But I found it very weird that he was doing that, or that he knew that. I'm gonna make a part 2 because this is getting a little bit long. This is part 2 of the story time on how my ex paid a guy to remove me on Snapchat. Quick recap, me and my ex break up. I go on a girls trip with my friend to Mexico, and we're just chilling. And the guy that I was like somewhat talking to like 3 months after our breakup randomly just removes me on Snap. But anyways, again, my ex randomly brings him up and like somehow knows that he removed me on Snap, and I was just like, okay, that's a little bit suspicious. But I was like, I just trying to get my tan in. Like, I'm just gonna ignore this and I'm just gonna go tan. But anyways, by the end of like my best friend from home, she starts texting me a lot being like, I'm freaking out. And I was like, what? She's like, your ex name. She's like, he won't stop like calling me, and he's like crying, begging for you, and like, and I was like, what? And I was literally just sitting at the beach just tanning, and I'm getting like all this trying to relax, And she's like, yeah, like, I'm literally, like, so scared, like, I don't know what to do. Because he randomly started calling her and texting her, like, my best friend, being like, I love her so much, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, if you love me so much, you shouldn't have treated me so badly. You know what I mean? But I was like, this is so inconvenient for my best friend. Like, she does not deserve to, like, get bombarded just because he feels like it. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, like, let me text him and, like, see how he is and, like, if he can stop. And I decide to call him, even though we're broken up. Like, we are fully broken up. And I, like, am mentally, like, clocked out at this point. I'm like, let me give him a call. And I, like, give him a call, and he's, like, all sad, whatever. And I'm like, well, whatever. We just talk for a little bit. Things are fine. I don't know. Like, I can't really remember what we were talking about. But that happens. But the very next day, I was, like, still curious. I'm like, I wonder why I got removed on this thing. But because we were literally, like, talking fine the day before, like, me and the other guy. So I have him on TikTok, and I send, like, a TikTok being, like, it was on my For You page, and it was, like, when you wake up the next morning and there's an X right next to his name on Snap. And I send that to him. And he responds quite, like, quickly. And he's like, oh, I got asked to. And I was like, by who? And he's like, you know who. Because my ex had been, like, harassing him low-key, like, texting him nonstop, like, complaining about me, like, whatever. Even though they're not friends anymore. Or they were never friends. But he's like, yeah, like, I got asked to. And I was like, what? And he, like, basically is like, you know who. And he's like, yeah, I got sent, like, the book, aka the paragraph. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, that's crazy. And then he tells me that he got offered money. My ex offered him money to remove me on Snap. And my ex basically did that so he can, like, get rid of the competition. That's basically, like, in other words, that's literally what he did. And I was like, what the f***? I was like, this guy's actually, like, insane. But yeah, I was just, like, so shocked at that point. I don't know. And low-key, when I, like, came back from Mexico, he was talking to my mom, like, behind my back, and he was the one that, like, picked me up from the airport. Like, I knew he was gonna do this because I thought we were gonna have, like, one last, like, chat, and, like, we were gonna go home and then, like, go our separate ways. But he ended up, I don't know, like, I was very naive at the point, and, like, I was getting a lot of pressure from, like, my mother and, like, other people, and I still, like, obviously liked him. So, ugh, this makes me cringe just, like, saying this. But yeah, I, like, got back together. Well, not back together. I was like, I'll give it a second chance, but I'm not dating you, and if you don't change your ways, like, whatever. And shocker, he didn't change his ways, and that is why we are no longer dating, and it's been the best time of my life. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.